All right then. Hello, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. A longer show, I'm gonna say, this week for Impact with a lot going on. Now, I usually don't watch the pre-show, the BTI show and whatnot. Okay, I did watch a little of it in the beginning or two, but it wasn't really much happening. But the match they were hyping up this week for the pre-show and whatnot was a 60-minute Iron Man match, and I got a lot to say about this match because this is obviously the best match of the entire night out of a 3 hour show. I'm gonna say, like I said, it's including the pre-show, so I'm counting 3 hours of Impact tonight because we did kick off this pre-show between Josh Alexander and TJP. TJP had followed by with him. Josh had PD Williams and whatnot. This was a great Iron Man match. Okay, it started slow. It did first, but it was one of those like slow, methodical, I want to say marathon type of matches out there, and this was great because Josh Alexander, he didn't really get the first pinfall till a little bit after almost 40 minutes, it looked like, in the match, which he ended up kind of using his momentum to cover TJP to get the first pinfall of the match. And, as the match went on, they end up, like I said, still going, but they end up kind of going up the ramp and whatnot. And I saw more wrestlers started to come out, like Trey Miguel and Chris Sabin telling Josh not to hit TJP with a tiger driver on the steel ramp up there, but he still did it as both men were down. And throughout this match, like I said, as it got better and better, and I'm not going to name every move because this was an Iron Man match. Well, the rest of the roster started to come out then, okay? So we saw more of the roster kind of, start to come out and watch the match as they were basically the spectator wrestlers because they wanted to enjoy it, and they all came out and watched. TJP, though, which I thought was crazy. The guy went for like the freaking Mamba Splash, but Josh got the way. He hit the moonsault on him, but TJP, well, he stopped him from doing that, got him in the tree of woe, pretty much started punching him in, beating him. And, here's the thing going through this match. This continued, okay? So this match did not end on the pre-show. This continued in the main show. And you could tell by the colors because the, pre-show is like more like a blue-white type of thing. And we all know the regular show, everything goes red. So when it kind of got to that 8-minute mark, that's when the show still continued into the main show, okay? So you still got the pre-show, but you're still watching the show in continuation with 8 minutes left on the clock in this Iron Man match. Both kept going. Josh ended up putting the ankle lock into him, basically locking him in, grapevine him to the ground. As the clock was running down, TJP would not tap. He wasn't going to tap as TJP ended up lifting himself up and put him in almost like a jackknife pin, pinning him, getting his shoulders on the mat, which he tried several times, but he did it by the last 2 seconds. With 2 seconds left on the clock, we have 1 against 1 then. And as the rest of the roster just looked very shocked at what was going on and whatnot. Dave Penza basically laid out the rules. Now we're in sudden death overtime. Whoever can get the next fall will be the winner of this match. And I guess gonna be on a 30-minute mark, which it wasn't didn't go on that long, but in this sudden death rules, Josh still ended up getting the win with the Tiger Drive, which he slowly hit him with it almost, basically trying to muster up whatever strength he had left as both men were basically gassed through this. Josh still retained the title. This was great, okay? This was very enjoyable. You could have put this on a pay-per-view. You could have put this on the regular show because, one thing to take from this, I'm sure they have more ad on the regular show anyways, but this is a match you put on the main show of Impact. You don't put this on a pre-show. This is a match you kick off the show with to go on for a full hour, or you put in the second hour of the show as your main event and it will continue until the show ends and whatnot. Especially to put 60 minutes out there. I'm glad I get this was a way to get people to watch the pre-show because I don't think a lot of people watch the pre-show in general. Unless you do, then hey, that's good on you. But I'll be honest, I never really watched the pre-show like that. Maybe one or two other times, but I wanted to make sure I saw this match though on this pre-show. But both of these guys went out there, put on a killer match. Like I said, very slow, very methodical. A little slow, like I said, slow at first, but momentum started to pick up as the match went on and it was getting more exciting and whatnot. And I did like how the rest of the wrestlers came out and watched. I wish they would have did more of that. I know there's no fans right now, and I'm gonna get to that in near the end of this review because there was some news after the show aired. But I wish they would have put more of the spectator wrestlers out there, just at least to put in some cheers instead of doing the fake crowd noises and whatnot. I know they start doing the fake crowd noises nowadays, but I wish they would have did more of that. But like overall though, this was just a great match though. This was just fun to watch. Great Iron Man match in general. All right. But as the show, I guess, main show is now on at this point. I know they had the camera on Don Callis saying how he's gonna, stooge off Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Not stooge off them, but try to, stir the pot with Moose and Callahan, and even saw the cameraman saying stooge alert. Um, Josh was in the back, Petey Williams talking about how, which he was beat up, by the way, wrestlers coming to shake his hand out of respect and everything. Even TJP did also, as he, talk about he proved why, he's the champ around here and whatnot. As, Scott D'Amore even came in and congratulated him also. Josh basically said, I'm the only man, holding gold in this company right now. I'm the king of the mountain as long as an AEW wrestler is currently holding the world title and whatnot. And as D'Amore said, he's proud of him and everything. Josh, just told him, rest up and whatnot after putting on that hour-long match. Next thing you know, Chris Bay and Petey Williams, Ace Austin, Trey Miguel basically won a title shot next to see who's going to be next against him then. So, Scott left as the wrestlers start to argue amongst themselves then. But Josh, though, like I said, Josh and TJP put on a great match. I hope this leads on to somewhere with both of these guys, though. Like I said, Josh Alexander's killing it right now. I know someone was probably worried after Ethan Page left and they weren't the North no more, but, the North anymore. But obviously they do believe in him in something, and the guy's just proven to be a great singles wrestler right now. So that was just a great, fantastic match. Next, though, we did get Rohit Raju versus Jake Something in a tables match. This was good also. Very good match, very solid. I like both of these guys. I see they made Jake Something probably cover up his leg because we can't be showing Dragon Ball Z tattoos on here with Goku on it, probably copyrights and whatnot. But this was good. Raju ended up throwing a chair at Jake Something's head, which is like he missed, by the way, or grazed his head, I should say. And Jake ended up tackling him into the table for the win. So that was good. Hopefully Jake Something can actually get something going on instead of losing real quick matches half the time out here after he beat Diener and whatnot and became his own man. So let's see where this gains him after that. Morrissey walked up to Scott D'Amore, won a match with Rich Swann. Rich Swann won a match also. He says, you got him tonight. Rosemary's cutting a promo saying she's coming after the Knockouts Championship until Havoc showed up saying we fought together, but she wants one more shot at her so she could try to get in that title match and whatnot. Rich Swann came out dancing, which I don't know why he should be dancing after coming back losing the world title. And I'm sure a lot of people may have liked this. He comes out dancing and everything, and Morrissey just slowly walks up behind him and knocks him in the back of the head, leaving him on the ground, and just throws him all over the place. Swann tried to fight back, but Morrissey just killed this guy. And security guards and referees tried to hold him back, but it didn't work. Willie Mack came out with a chair and hit him, but Morrissey no-sold it then as Morrissey got out the ring, as, the referees and Sim stopped him. So, yeah, he basically killed Rich Swann right here, which I'm sure we'll get the match at a later point. But, man, I ain't waiting for this dancing and shit, which, honestly, I don't know what they were going to do with Swann after. I'm surprised Swann wasn't even gone longer, giving him losing the world title to Omega and everything, or at least go back for the world. Well, Scott D'Amore just already, kind of explained why he can't go back for the world title, but don't know if it was a good idea to come back dancing and everything right now after you just, got your ass kicked at the last pay-per-view and whatnot, and now you got killed right here. So, boom, there you go. Tino Dashwood still trying to get Rachel and El Reina Guerrero as a tag team partner, but Jordan Grace came in and said, I'm just going to get my talk show. Next, Brian Myers, which I actually thought this was a funny segment. How to be the most professional. How to be a professional, basically. He's looking at Scott Beal, looking at his gear, saying it's lame. You got some weird tattoos. You got an interesting look, but you need to be wearing this shirt, which he did plug his shirt on Shop Impact. And then, with the shirt, we got to work on your entrance and everything. And next thing he's trying to smell his own finger and whatnot. Myers says, no, don't do that. Just don't do that, all right? I don't know what you try to do. Don't do that. And we need this music, so they play Myers' music then. And he said, this is the music that makes the girls pregnant and whatnot. And when he's doing entrance, I thought this was funny. He does his entrance. Myers is showing him how to do it. And Beal said, wait a minute, why are you wearing a mask? I thought you got both your, vaccination shots. I said, it's not that kind of mask. That was funny to me. I don't know why. That was hilarious for some reason when he said that. He says, hey, wait, why are you wearing a mask? I thought you had both your COVID shots. That's not that type of mask, okay? So I thought that was funny. I actually laughed at that. That cracked me up when he said that. So that was good. Deonna Purrazzo talked about Havoc and Rosemary, saying, I guess probably a triple threat and maybe title at Against All Odds, but talking about she still will be champion. The favor will be on her. Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz win against Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. Rematch for the Knockouts tag titles. Really good match. I did like the finish with, what was it, Tasha no, it wasn't Tasha. I think, yeah, Kiera ended up having a hold on her. Basically, keep her on the ground. As Tasha Steelz hit a frog splash for the win. Jordan Grace ended up taking the fall here. A very good tag team match. So I still think Jordan Grace is probably going to be turning heel soon and whatnot. But I did like this match with Fire and Flav. Again, a strong win over both of them. So not bad at all. I know they tried to with Scott D'Amore to brag, but I guess next thing you know, I guess Susan and Kimberly want a title shot now. Sami Callihan was kind of promo about Moose backstage. Don Callis tried to interrupt them, saying, we can have your back and everything. Callahan told Callis to get the hell out. Next, we even saw a promo, which a guy by the name of Maclin, and he was like in a shirt sitting down. I don't know, it was like some not a shirt, but he was sitting somewhere with an Irish whiskey and some music in the background, sitting on a chair and whatnot. But apparently, it's Steve Cutler, if I'm not mistaken. I figured he was going to be an Impact. I didn't even know it was Steve Cutler until I found out maybe kind of after the show, probably about an hour or two later on. I didn't even know who that was. I'm like, who's Maclin? All right, I never knew who that was, so that must be some new wrestler. But apparently, it's Steve Cutler. So I figured he was going to be an Impact, given that he's with Deonna Purrazzo. I want to see what he's got. I know he didn't really do much when he was in WWE, with the whole Forgotten Sons thing, which honestly it wasn't even over in NXT or the main roster and whatnot. And with the main roster, you can blame Gunner or Riker for both him and Blake's push being ruined, and which is crazy. Both of those guys got released, and Riker's still there, which honestly, after the shit I just kind of heard about him not that long ago, what he's in trouble for again, I'm not going to go into a WWE thing and the whole what happened on Raw, but after the shit I've heard him say now and what he's done recently, I would not be surprised if Riker or whatever Gunner gets released from WWE. If you don't believe me, go look up the recent shit he said on the internet and you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's crazy how that guy cost both of those Forgotten Son guys their push and they put him with, Corbin, and it went nowhere. So hopefully something happens with Cutler right here, or Maclin as they're calling him now. So we'll see what happens with that. Satoshi Kojima making his Impact in-ring debut, went against Diener. I know Eddie Edwards came out in this match. A good win for Kojima. I know he debuted last week. Well, I guess he's going to be challenging a match to Joe Doring soon enough against All Odds. Don't know how they're going to have Kojima here from New Japan, but not a bad match. Like I said, Kojima ended up getting the win with his lariat and whatnot over Diener, so not bad. Moose cut a promo backstage. Don Callis tried to stir the pot with him, but Moose, I like what he said. Like, the minute you said, baby, I got your back, or something like that, I was done listening to you. Now get the hell out and go tell Kenny Omega keep that belt warm. Eric Young was cutting a promo talking about Eddie Edwards costing Diener the match until Decay showed up, won a title shot then. So you don't give Diener enough responsibilities. How about you and him defend those tag team titles? Because, we were tag team champions before Decay, well, when it was Crazy Steve and Abyss. But I guess they won a title shot against All Odds, and Eric Young agreed to the match. But in the main event, we got Moose versus Sami Callihan. I figured where this match was going to go. Some would say it's kind of lazy on the end of this. The match was pretty good. It ended up with Gallows and Anderson coming out, attacking, even Kenny Omega himself coming out, and Don Callis basically beating up Moose and Callihan. Next thing you know, when they go in the back to celebrate, Scott D'Amore ended up talking to Callis again. Basically, you guys want to attack, all right? And Callihan should be added to the match against All Odds. Callis didn't know what D'Amore was talking about. And he talked about Tony Khan. He doesn't even want him in this match. He's blacklisted from AEW. There's no way he can get in this match. But D'Amore, say, I see you're reading your agreements right now. So, listen, Tony Khan's going to be here next week. And I guess they're going to make this triple threat against All Odds. As Cass says, I thought we were a team. Now, this right here, I have talked about this before, about a triple threat match happening. I think I told you I probably would have booked this before. I still think it should be Moose versus Kenny Omega. at Against All Odds, but you know, Callahan gets involved. Then it turns to a triple threat match at Slammiversary and whatnot for the world title. But obviously, I think they're going to do a triple threat match Against All Odds. I think Callahan will be taking the pinfall here. And then at Slammiversary, it'll be Moose versus Kenny Omega one-on-one for the world title. And then that's where it's going to go from here. I thought about it the other way around, but obviously they're thinking different. Honestly, but then again, before I still would have expected Moose or, you know, Callahan to show up on AEW to attack Omega, but obviously that's not even going to happen. Even on Friday's show, I don't think it's going to happen either, okay? But I would have still wanted to see a one-on-one match than a triple threat match. But obviously, I think it's going to happen in Slammiversary now. It's going to be some... like I would have expected Screwy finish it Against All Odds with a no contest. Then the triple threat match happens. But obviously, they're doing the other way around, it looks like. So that's what it looks like we're getting from there. And, you know, one thing they did announce, which I found out after I watched Impact, fans will be there at Slammiversary. That was announced. I haven't read the full details to it, but the fans will be back where they're located right now in Nashville, I think at the same venue. So with Slammiversary coming up, I guess Impact has finally decided to let fans, since every other wrestling show, you know, is letting fans back in. We already know AEW has done it. WWE is almost there. They're doing that. Ring of Honor is about to do it with their pay-per-view. MLW's letting fans back in soon. Impact's now in the ball game. New Japan's already been going, but New Japan's kind of going through a tough time right now in COVID, but they still got some fans out there. I'm trying to see if there's any other company I forgot. Now that's mostly everybody I've named. So more wrestling shows are coming back with fans. I don't know how many people are letting in. Haven't read the details to it yet. I'm sure they put out a press release and whatnot, and I'll read about it. But yeah, they are letting fans back in for Slammiversary, folks. People have been saying about for a while. So Slammiversary, the fans will be back. So we'll see what happens with that. But other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Hoodie890. A very good show. Like I said, the best match was the Iron Man match between Alexander and TJP. I still would have put on the main show than the pre-show, but I understand why they put on the pre-show at the same time. Okay? So other than that, like I said, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later, and peace out.